Live, Jtwes Monday Night Live. Thank you guys. We're back out in the shed. It's warm. Well, it's comfortable to me. It's not too warm at all for me. I asked Lena, did she want a fan, and I got a little DeWalt fan. We probably will break that out later on in the
Yeah,
summer,
maybe
I'm
when
sure.
it's the 90-degree days. But
Yeah.
right now I'm good. It feels good out here. It's a little cool, or it's cooling down, I should say.
Well, thank you, everybody. We need some rain. We'll probably talk about that in a little bit, but appreciate everybody joining in. Who we all got in here, Leno?
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, we got mosquitoes. They come in before we drop the net.
Yeah. Got Jack Graham.
Hey, Jack. Jack from the
And
all the way
West
from the West Coast.
He's early tonight.
Yeah, he is. He hadn't ate supper yet. That's what.
Yeah. He'll have to go because they'll be eating in a little bit. John Briggs is on.
Hey, John.
Hey, John. Stan is on.
Hey, Stan.
This is a lively conversation in the tractor shed.
It is a lively conversation. I enjoyed our meal the other night, Stan. That was delicious, and wound up eating some sort of kind of the same thing Sunday, except it was in a tortilla bowl.
Yeah. I have Joey eating Mexican food 3 times a week,
my
whether it's at home or
goodness.
if we go eat somewhere, because we went Sunday with Will and Megan.
I'm ready for some of that Matt Dillon steak and beans right there.
Well, you could have got that.
Well, I could have, yeah.
Timbo is on.
Never order a steak unless it's a steakhouse. If it's a fish house, order fish. If it's a Mexican, order Mexican. Don't order cross cultured foods at a different place.
Oh, well, cultured, okay. Because we went to Harbor Inn. I ordered chicken wings.
Well, chicken wings is,
And they're good.
They can kind of go anywhere. Anybody can cook chicken.
Oh, okay. Janice is on.
Hey, Janice.
Timbo. And David Waldrop is on.
David.
Says, hello, Joey and Leno. Sorry I haven't been on the live in a bit. Been remodeling a bedroom.
That's all right.
Have you been enjoying the Farmall book?
Yes, David. We are going to be doing some of your stuff probably before long, the Sammys. Got me a bookshelf now to put it on, along with another couple of Farmall books I got. So, yes, thank you so much.
Paul Ford is on.
Hey, Paul.
Says, good evening. Praying for all those that were in the path of the violent storms of the past few days.
That's right, Paul. Appreciate you mentioning that. I was going to mention it myself, and I think it's out west, and praise the Lord for Franklin Graham and Samaritan Purse. He can get some people on the ground probably quicker than the government can, just about.
Yeah, they have their whole planes, so they have a whole very efficient setup.
Yeah, you think about doing a live like this on Monday night. Here we are in the tractor shed and stuff, and you got somebody that's dishomed out there, and all you can do is pray for them, because unfortunately, anywhere in the world at any moment in time, there's going to be some of that going on, and so just be thankful for what we have here, and that we're all safe and stuff, and just pray for them that they can get back to a normal life.
Yeah, and those who didn't lose anyone, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that too.
James Kelly's on. Evening, all from Colorado.
Hello, James Kelly from Colorado.
Allison Bowers is on.
Hello, Allison.
Hey, Allison. Long time no talk between me and her.
Yeah, did y'all nail down, did talk about something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'll work that out. Laura's on. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Laura. Allison, I got to get with Nikki. I think I need 450 or 500 slips. And guys, what we're talking about is Nikki and Allison. I'm not sure how that goes, but Steele Plant Company, which sells onions and sweet potatoes and things like that. I'm gonna get my sweet potatoes from them this year, and I need to go and get them ordered now. And so I got to talk to Nikki about that, see what I got to do to get them ordered. But that's where I'm getting my sweet potatoes this year. Steele Plant Company. I always keep a link in the description of my video, and I have been for a couple of months now, in case any of you guys maybe want some onions or sweet potatoes. Just go there and you'll be able to link right to it.
And Nikki's on too.
Hey, Nikki.
Nikki says hello from West Tennessee. Yeah, Nikki and Allison are in West Tennessee, which I always think west equals mountains, but not in their case.
No.
Our west is mountains. Their west is flat.
Their east is mountains, and so it's exactly opposite.
Yeah.
And if they go west, it's like our east. They will run into a little water. They'll run into the Mississippi. So maybe it's not quite as much as Atlantic Ocean, but it is some water.
Bart is on.
Hey, Bart.
Good evening, y'all. And Joey Neal is on.
Hey, Joey.
Says, hey, Joey and Lino, hope all is well. Enjoyed the planting video.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I had a fella that asked me what I use a planter, and he was talking about the okra, and I thought he was talking about the tomatoes, and I told him, I said, it just logistically wasn't worth getting it out for one roll of tomatoes, and plus my riders that I have on the planter are not skilled enough to hold that plant in the cup till the very last second because it had a heavy root ball on it, and the root ball will, flip it out of the cup.
Yeah, I need a lot more practice.
Yeah, well, we're going to get 4 rows of practice.
Well, yeah, because it's not enough rows to practice.
Yeah, we'll get 4, so
Okay.
you'll be good.
I'll give it a try again.
But I gotta move Elliot's engine out of the way. He had bought an engine for a truck, and anyway, it's in front of the planter, so we got to get it moved.
Gurney is on, says good evening.
Hey, Gurney.
Welch Farm says healed corn and put fertilizer today, got irrigation running.
Now, when you say, irrigation, I brought up that it's dry. I do have some Hastings coming up, and Hastings looking pretty good. The Jimmy Red's probably along the same lines. I looked at it last Saturday, I believe it was, and it was just starting to come up kind of decent. I'm worried about the turkeys in the Jimmy Red field. Man, there is turkey tracks all in there.
Well, and we just seen 2 on the way home,
Yeah,
just hanging out in the field.
So I'm worried about that a little bit, but we'll take. That's why we planted such a big field of it, so we can get what we can get off of it. But anyway, I'm trying to let it grow to about this tall before I cultivate it. But I'm in a push. I got to do it because I got to put fertilizer in it. But you guys will see all that. I won't bore you with that tonight.
Jamie Lawson is on.
Hey, Jamie.
Says hello, Jtwes. Thought I'd drop in and say howdy.
Thank you.
And Joel Tate is also on.
Joel Tate.
And William May is on.
William May.
Good evening, everyone. Please keep the United States Marshals and Charlotte PD in your prayers.
Yes, sir. I seen that too.
Yeah, it's awful.
I didn't read a lot about it, but I told Lino, I said they must have been trying to apprehend somebody that was pretty rough.
It was a weapons warrant, and 3 U.S. Marshals were killed, and several more were injured. So,
But the guy had a bunch of weapons.
obviously, So, it's a weapons charge. It's not like he was a murder suspect or like a. You would think weapons. I mean, a lot of people get in trouble with illegal firearms, but they're not to the extent of they're gonna kill police. But so yes, please keep them in your prayers, all their families and everyone affected by that. Let's see. On to other things. Carl Capel is on.
Hey, Carl.
Says just had wings.
Just had wings.
Yeah, and Carl, Joey can tell you I'm a little bit of a wings snobby person because you don't put breading on wings. It's just they call them naked wings, but now they have to say that because so many people want them breaded.
Yeah.
Breaded wings is just fried chicken. It's not wings. It's
I like the ones at Food Line.
Yeah, that's fried chicken. That's
Okay.
not wings. Because it's got to be naked, fried, and spicy buffalo sauce. That's wings.
Well, I don't call wings. I think it's a farce to say this is boneless wings.
Oh, those are
and
chicken nuggets.
It's chunks of breast.
Yeah, it's chicken nuggets.
To me, a boneless wing, you pulled the bone out of it.
Yeah, and that'd be a mess though, but
Well,
left
yeah,
with little
it'd
bits.
be hard to do, but I'm saying that to me, that's a boneless wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's.
Pat Doak is on.
Hey, Pat.
Says, watched you plant tomatoes today. Your garden looks great.
Thank you, Pat. I got the thumbs up from Danny on my garlic. He said it was looking good. And guys, again, and we've talked about this. You already know about my memory, and I don't keep up with a lot of emails. I delete them when I get done reading them and stuff like that, and I don't save them. I have to do that to keep my phone clear because when I video, guys, I video in 4K, so it puts a lot of data on that phone, and sometimes I have to keep it on there for a couple of weeks before I'm able to delete it off. Anyway, that's why I keep my phone clean. Delete it. Whoever sent me that garlic, send me an email again. I'm just so I'm so glad and happy with that garlic.
You should really let me run your emails too.
Yeah, maybe I need to start printing them off so I can just start looking back and saying, okay.
No, you just keep them in a folder. You don't
I know,
have
but
to
I need
delete them.
I need the data. If I keep them in the folder on the phone, that's data on the phone.
We need
And
to,
a lot of guys send me a lot of pictures too.
Yeah. We need to come up with something for that. Paul says, and this is Paul, our rail fan.
Real fan.
Good evening from Nag's Head.
Nag's Head. What are you doing down there?
Probably running a...
Well, we discussed that he does stay all night sometimes.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure he's not enjoying the,
Well, you don't
tourism.
know. He may be parked in a public beach access. Chilling.
Yeah, Martin Farms is on.
Hey, Martin Farms.
Says, hello, Jtwes family. Tell Sammy he did a good job planting tomatoes.
He did, and one of you guys made a comment about what we were talking about, which is the agriculture part of the school. And it was a lot bigger conversation there that I cut down, just because, I told Sammy, I said, well, Sammy, I'm going to edit this a little bit because we don't need to be disparaging down in people. But yes, I would love to see, long story short, I'd love to see a lot more money pumped into not just agriculture, but trades in schools. Like, you have to take some sort of trade class, whether, I don't know what it'd be, but that's what we're, need more than, there's nothing wrong with sports, but there ought to be an equal amount of money into those learning curriculums than it is and I'm fine with them playing football. I know it's a great deal for schools, no problem, but put some money into other stuff.
Yeah, and Samuel has taken a lot of agricultural type classes. He loves doing that for his electives. He's gotten animal science, and each class, each year, he's taken a different type of animal science. One's like, I don't know if it's farm animal, one's service, or service animal, and some other just types of animal science classes. And he's taken horticulture now, which he seems to enjoy. He's helping with the greenhouse. And he took woodworking, but he's just worried that some of those positions are not going to be there next year because they don't have the funding for it. And it's just crazy. And Sam's animal science class cracks me up because his teacher, she runs a chaotic classroom because of all the animals, because she's got all kinds of animals in there that the kids help take care of. Like, one time they got a shipment of chameleons in, and they opened the box and chameleons just started jumping out on them. And they've got, a guinea pig, rabbits. They've got a cat that stays in there, and they catch him in the woodworking hall or the automotive hall. So anyways, they keep having to go back and get the cat that stays in the classroom. So it's just a good experience,
Yeah, it is.
And speaking of that, it also helped prepare Sammy for our little gift from our neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
So our neighbor was bush hogging their land close to where it meets ours, and Joey went out and said hello to her, and she, in her tractor floorboard, was this teeny tiny little mouse. I mean, no, eyes are still closed, barely just had its fur. And so Samuel called Elliot, and Elliot's like, yeah, you need kitten formula, because Elliot's the professional.
Yeah, he's one.
So Elliot brought him some kitten formula and dropper and stuff, and so far, Sammy has been getting up at night to feed, make sure he's fed and warm, and
he's living.
He's still alive. I was not thinking he was going to make it, but
I told him he's going to raise them out for a nice red-tailed hawk. He's going to get out there in that. He's going to get out there in that grass, and that red-tailed hawk is.
But I'm proud of Sam because he really has, taken care of it and committed to it. Of course, I had to feed it today while I was working, but I only had to feed him like 2 or 3 times, so it was okay. David Waldrop says he's also in East Tennessee.
Oh, hey, David.
And Allison says, buy those sweet potatoes. Our boys need paychecks.
That's right.
And Butterfly Farm said, we ordered potato slips last year from Steele Plant Company. They were good and healthy slips. Hope all is well.
All right. Thank you, Butterfly.
So, a nice little endorsement for Steele Plant Company. And Kurt T says, good evening from Southeast Louisiana.
Hey, Kurt T.
I missed last week, was busy taking care of the list.
Yeah.
Which is the honeydew list.
Well.
I need to start doing a honeydew list.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lino never does one.
I know. Like, I need to start making a list. And I love lists.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never made you a honeydew list.
No, you haven't.
Brian is on. Good evening, y'all.
Hey, Brian.
And Mr. Hawk Joe
Hawk Joe.
said it's dry, been running the sprinkler since yesterday. We're in the same boat.
Yeah, I'm not too awfully dry, but it's getting there. I think there's a chance of rain Wednesday. So I may plant some green beans tomorrow. I've been kind of holding off because I wanted to put the electric fence up when I planted it, but I need to go and get them in the ground, or we'll have some late beans if I don't.
Oh, and I had said David's from East Tennessee, like Allison. That's wrong. He's from the other side.
West Tennessee.
No, she's West Tennessee.
Yeah, he's East Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 different parts. He's from the mountainous areas.
Yeah.
Bullard Farms is on.
Hey, Bullard Farms.
Hello, everyone. And Orbra is on.
Hey, Orbra.
Hey, Jtwes. And Nikki says, Barrett said he'd come and take care of your turkey problem.
Yeah, he needs to. Good
well, there's
gracious.
plenty of guys here to take care of the turkey problem. We had to go do a men's breakfast Saturday, and I went and helped him cook. And we left at 4, and that hunting club at the end of the road.
Oh, yeah, there's full of guys.
It was full.
Yeah.
There was like 10 trucks there, lights on. So they're out there. They're just not getting the turkeys, I guess. Melvin Madigan's on.
Hey, Melvin.
Bradford Stewart. Bradford says, good evening from Eastview, Tennessee, which is West Tennessee.
Yeah.
So he's actually West
That's
Tennessee.
a new name, ain't it? Bradford Stewart.
And Larry Terrell says, hi, JT West from Reedsville.
Hey, Larry.
Stan says, Joey, is your pond of sufficient size depth to irrigate?
Oh, yeah.
Your
Yeah, irrigate with.
Irrigate your 2 local gardens.
Yeah, it is. I just don't really have nothing to do it with.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't have the setup for that.
Yeah, they made some Akron irrigation pipes that were, I don't know, I think they were like 2-inch pipes, and they'd run some sprinklers and stuff. I got a buddy that's got some. Those things, boy, they'd be nice to have right now because you wouldn't need much of an irrigation pump to pump those up. But I can, my Silver Queen, I can water it, and I can water the vegetable garden if I need to. I just like trying to find stuff that can really concentrate the water on it via a drip hose or one of those little rainbow-like things that go up and back and up and back. Just they put out a lot of water, but I don't like the sprinklers too much for where I'm at because I end up overshooting the garden, and it's a lot of waste of water, and I don't want to do that.
Warherstead is on.
Warherstead.
Hello, Mike here from Southern Missouri.
Well, we just should have said Mike.
Yeah, well, I'd like to say their YouTube name too. Mike says, got 10 rows of ornamental corn in before the massive rains.
Oh, man.
Still have to turn in the turnips and daikons for cover crop.
Yeah.
And Roger says, good evening from right up the road.
Hey, Roger.
And Eddie Longest is on.
Eddie Longest.
Says, back in Virginia, plowing in the clover cover, planting soon.
Yeah, last year I made a stab at planting some cover crop, and I planted the wrong thing and plowed it up quickly before I had a mess. But if I do plant some of that ryegrass or wheat or oats or something this fall, just watching a few videos of folks getting a cover crop disked up, I think I would start at least, weather permitting, the 1st of March, trying to kill it back and let it start rotting and turning brown, and then in hopes of planting, latter part of April. I'd give you a month and a half there to work that stuff up, because I need pretty clean soil with the planters I got.
Eugene Martin's on.
Hey, Eugene.
Hello, neighbors from South Boston. Hope all is well.
It is.
And Mark Moore says, good evening, y'all.
Hey, Mark Moore.
And Paul says, I'm
Is
out.
that Moore's Farm All? Or just say Mark Moore?
Mark Moore. Paul says, I'm out here with 14 less wheels than usual. Well, maybe 13 if you count the spare tire on the back.
So he's out vacationing.
Yeah. So
That
hopefully you
ain't
have
no
your
fun.
Jeep and you're taking advantage of
Oh, I guarantee
getting
he
to
is.
drive,
Yeah,
because
I'm sure.
there's so many places to drive there.
He's probably got him like a year-round pass.
Well, and it's before school lets out, so it's prime, good weather plus not so many people, so it's a good time to go. Did I say Jeffrey Strange is on?
You may have,
All
but
right,
hey,
well,
Jeffrey.
Hey again, Jeffrey, if I did. Joey Neal says, I agree on adding more vocational classes.
Yeah.
This 1904 farm is on.
1904.
Hey guys, little later outwater the sugar maple trees.
Yeah, speaking of that, 1904, I just told Leno, I said, we need to tell everybody tonight, we're going to try this, and hopefully it'll work out okay, because I know Leno don't like going too long, but we're going to start next week at 8:30 instead of 8, because and I know a lot of you, are working till just about dark if we can to try to get some stuff done, and especially when it's hot and you work, so we're going to push back a little bit for the daylight and give us, 30 more minutes there, and we'll start at 8:30
Yeah, so I'll be
next week from here on out.
Yeah, past my bedtime.
Yeah, we'll move it back to 8 as the fall comes along, just kind of like changing it. But I think that's probably for the best for all of us, really. And hopefully you'll make it till 9:30.
I'll make it. And Mike from Warhorstead says, amen to the trade courses. Some people can't read a ruler.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they can't, and it's because they're not taught. There's a lot of people who, we like to say stuff about them like, when I say that guy looks like he can't change a tire.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I, and I shouldn't be mean like that.
Yeah.
Or he can't change oil. And it's because they weren't taught.
Well, they should have a class, honest to goodness. They should have a class and just kind of touch on all the safety aspects of changing a tire and stuff like that. But, of course, the manufacturers now, they're not even putting spare tires in them. They give you a pump and a can of Fix-A-Flat.
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
But, and honestly, that's actually safer, because if you do have one of those little rinky-dink jacks and stuff, people are getting hurt with those. It's because they're not putting it upright, and it's not safe. And I'd rather, if they're not familiar or skilled to do that, I'd rather them take it somewhere and get it done. Luckily, our boys have had you to show them. They could change their oil, they can rotate their tires, whatever, if they change the tire. And even Kaylee, she's, her being in the racing field, she can change her oil and do tires too. So, she's been taught different. Ross Brown is on.
Hey, Ross Brown.
Says, were those all greenhouse tomatoes, and do you plan to plant any other varieties?
No, it's just a German Johnson. And yes, they were. They were from a fellow that goes to church with us, Brother Charles, and he's got a place called Flat River Nursery in Hurdle Mills. And he does sell quite a few plants, I think, and flowers and things like that. But his core business is selling tomatoes year round. He has these greenhouses with tomatoes in them, and man, those things.
That one is bigger than my hand, like bigger. That's on the bar.
I haven't showed it. Yeah, he gave me one, guys. It's literally like that big around.
And it's beautifully red. It looks like a garden tomato without the bug holes.
He said it's a cross between German Johnson and something else. I forgot what it was, but anyway. And, he's just got an amazing operation. And he raises those plants for me, and they're always got some good thick stems on them. They could go through a planter if I really wanted to plant them in a planter. And they're always equal size, And so, that's where I get them. And no, just German Johnson. And I know traditionally there's a lot of grandmas out there that said German Johnson's not real good for canning because it's kind of a low acid. But Leno has canned those things for, 15 years or more.
Yeah, and I've never had a can go bad.
Never had one bad can of German Johnson tomatoes.
And I usually do about 100 every season.
Yeah.
So, they've been fine. Also, the only other variety we have is our mystery tomatoes that are mulch tomatoes.
Oh, it's German Johnson.
Are you sure?
Oh, I know it is.
Okay.
No doubt.
Well, because when I got that plant, they didn't know what it was, what type. And so those are in the mulch, and I planted those and put them in the windowsill.
Yeah.
And he put them in the mulch for me this week.
And I also planted some in the garden.
Okay.
They've seen that on video. They're about to fall.
My little bitties. They'll be fine, though.
Yeah, matter of fact, I took over for Sammy because I said if these things die, it'll be on me and it won't be on Sammy.
Yeah, and he's heavy-handed.
Yeah.
They're a little delicate. Farmall Fanatic is on.
Hey, Farm Off Fanatic, how are you? That's Gino.
And Carl Smith says, hello, my family. It's dry up here in Virgilina, too. And says, how's Ken doing this week? Have you heard from Ken? And his name is Custom Cutter. He's the one who had the cultivator issue.
Okay, yeah. Ken's doing good. Yes, I have heard from him. He still was trying to get the rolling cultivators. He said like the way I had them mounted on that, and you know, I kind of looked back at my video and I thought, well, did I show enough where a person could look at this and see how they was mounted? And you know, I think I did. I mean, I've never did a step by step mounting video, but you know, if we need to do that one day, we'll do that, no problem.
Chet Hodges is on.
Hey Chet, how are you?
Says, hey Jtwes family, I found a channel this week called True Grit Appalachian Ways. Good channel. He has a 142.
Yeah, he does. I actually been watching him for about I don't know, 6 to 8 months now. He bought a Kubota offset from I think one of his kin folks. I'm pretty sure it was some of his kin folks, maybe granddad or something like that. Could be wrong on that, but yeah, I was very interested to see him do a little cultivating with that, and I'm sure he'll use it more and more this year. But yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. I think he's in North Carolina here somewhere, and just trying to live like the rest of us, live off the land and save as much money as possible, I'm sure.
Mark Moore says, my snap beans are busting out now.
Well, I'm hoping to get mine in the ground pretty soon. I have we're going to be using some Haas Tools, Roma 2 beans that I bought from Haas Tools last year. Y'all guys remember I run about a year behind on my seeds, sometimes 2 years behind on my seeds as far as when I buy them and plant them, just because I like keeping a year's worth in that freezer. But hopefully we'll plant those tomorrow and see how they come out.
Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny.
Says, hey, y'all. Hey, Johnny, and hey, Thomas, if
Yeah,
he's with
Thomas.
you. Chet says, hey, Jtwes family. Chet Hodges. I found a channel this week. Oh, I already read that. Sorry. I'm missing and trying to go back.
That's all right. Speaking of channels, guys, I bet you $5 about everybody watching right now has seen this guy. I enjoy watching him. It's more Farmalls. Yeah, let me get that right. More Farmalls. And he's been posting some little short videos, not nothing super long. And I just enjoy watching the different things that somebody else may do versus us, or you know, Custom Cutter or Ken or any of us all that mess with these tractors. And to be honest with you, I just like to hear him talk because he has he has what I call a true, not fake, South Boston accent that is only indigenous to South Boston, Virginia. And he'll tell you.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about, but it's just neat to hear him, and I've always enjoyed that. And so, but that's the channel too. That's the one I wanted to mention.
Let me make sure I'm at the right place. Ricky Eads is on.
Hey, Ricky.
Says, hey, JT, getting ready. It's raining here in West Middle Tennessee.
Hopefully it's coming our way.
I know. I wish it would. Haggy Farms is on. Says, hi, y'all.
Haggy Farms.
Bear Leah Farm is on.
Bear Leah. I see that in the comments, and I always see it and try to pronounce it.
Says, I disc the winter wheat once in the middle of March, a couple times in April, then a final disking in May before I plant.
Does it work up pretty good?
Jeffrey says, nice video of the transplanting action. I remember many years ago getting tomato plants from the farm store in a little bundle with no dirt.
Yeah.
Don't see them like that these days.
Yeah. Oh, I know what he's talking about. He's talking about kind of like we did plant beds. They'd pull them and have them in a bundle there. And the cool thing about having them in trays like that, you water them real good in those trays about 30 minutes before you plant them, and have that dirt just sopping wet. They'll usually have no problem. Even if it's hot the next day, they'll usually be okay.
Mr. Hawk Joe says, what do you think of putting leaves in the garden in the fall? Cut it in and let it rot over the winter. I've heard that does really well, but I don't know.
Well, I guess I don't think bad of it, because that corn garden over there, I don't know if you guys really paid attention. You probably have, but it's got a solid wall white oaks just on the other side of it, and yes, it gets about that thick full of leaves in that garden, and I cut them under every year.
Cajun Homestead's on.
Hey, Cajun Homestead.
Says, good evening, no excavator tractor work this evening, too wet.
Yeah, he said he was going to try to do something.
Yeah. And Joel Tate's on. Says,
Joel.
we run 6 sprinklers using 3-inch, or I don't know if that's foot or inch, 3-inch irrigation pipe.
Yeah.
And a 2-inch trash dump from Harbor Freight. It will run about an hour and a half on a tank of gas and soak the land. Works great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 3 inches. Okay. You know, at night my vision starts getting a little questionable. Paul says it was in the mid-70s here in Kitty Hawk. Nice.
Quit rubbing it in.
Nice. Yeah, he's going to give us every detail
Yeah.
now. He says
I'm sure next thing he's going to say the water was great.
yeah, he's like, oh, water was warm. No, but he's saying nice breeze and not much traffic. Drove the Jeep all the way up the beach to the Virginia border and seen some wild horses. So yeah, in Corolla.
Paul, when you got to that,
The old pier.
when he got to that cable
Oh yeah,
running
it's
across,
not a pier.
I set up right there one time with the boys because it was out of the flow of traffic because we stayed in Corolla. And the first day, you know, it was one of those deals where you kind of had to set your tents and stuff up between this traffic and that traffic, and you were in the middle. And I said, we can't do this.
Yeah, I did not like it
said-
because this is when the boys were little. Like Sam was maybe 3.
Yeah, so
And
we,
so he's going to be running all over the place. And I was like, and some of those guys would come flying up
yeah.
you know, like, so every time the boys wanted to go down to the water, they had, you know, we were like, you need to look and make sure you're looking. It was a disaster. But then Joey was like, you know what? Let's go all the way to the edge of North Carolina where that
all
cable
the way
is.
far as we could go.
Perfect setup because nobody was going to go that far to turn around. So
Yeah,
it worked out great.
Yeah.
I was like, you smarty. I should have known he'd have something, an
I
idea.
I couldn't put up there. I said, we got to do something.
But that house in Corolla, I let Sam play outside around the house because, you know, it's like a little path off the beach. And the horses would be under the house making these noises. I'm like, what's going on? They're in the trash. I mean, they're basically like giant rodents at that point.
Well, they're like giant coons at that point.
Yes. Well, and so then I let Sam go outside and play. We were out there, and Sam got covered in those teeny tiny deer ticks.
Yeah, I remember
all
that.
over. We had to strip them down. You had the light on them. We had to. I mean, so yes, Corolla on commercials and in theory is wonderful, but not if you have little children. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, and plus you can't just easily drive to a grocery store from Corolla.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 miles on the beach to that house.
I want to say and Paul can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was like 5 miles.
Yeah, it was a long drive when
Yeah.
you're on the beach, but you know, at least we experienced it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I'm not wanting to go back, even though the boys are grown.
No,
but
I just want to go to Camp Hatteras.
yeah, I'm good with Camp Hatteras. Some concrete. Greg Mosier's on.
Hey, Greg Mosier.
Says hi, hey Joey and Leno, late, but I made it. Hope all are doing well.
We are.
And Janice says, how did the eggs work out for you?
Eggs worked out wonderful. The men eat them up, and I have, well, I guess I got 1 carton in my refrigerator, and the rest of them empty cartons in my truck.
Yeah,
So I got to get them back to you.
I made sure they kept those Saturday, so, you know, because I
Yeah.
know you need them back. Stan says melon tomatoes, ?
Melon tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hadn't heard of them.
I hadn't heard of that type either.
Guys, I realized when I poured those 3 bags of watermelon seed in, I told Leno, I said, Leno, one of them seeds didn't look right. And after I got to thinking about it, I may have inadvertently, and if I did, I'm going to have to kill it out probably, because it probably won't cross up good with the watermelon if they do good. But I think I may have planted some butternut squash with that watermelon, because that 1 bag had, I just thought it was watermelon seed. I just briefly looked at it.
Well, and it's kind of like the broccoli and
Yeah.
what did I plant together?
No, I don't think you want this butternut with the watermelon. I think
It'll take it over?
Well, no, I think it would cross-pollinate into something crazy, like the Incredible Hulk or something.
Yeah, because I don't like squash.
Yeah, so the watermelon takes precedence. If I see some squash plants, that's coming out.
You'll pull them out,
Yeah.
yeah. And Bart says Joey, you could tell they're German Johnson by the leaves dry up here too.
Yeah.
And he said, yes, I have watched some of his videos, that Appalachian, whatever it was.
Okay.
Jeff Pinion is on.
Hey, Jeff.
Says, hello guys, love your videos. I have a 53 Super A looking at 2 other tractors, a 130 or a 140.
53 Super A, that's a pretty late model.
What would you recommend between the 140 and 130?
Oh, I mean, honestly, it'd be a coin toss. Because at that point, they'll both do the same thing. It just depends on which one's probably the nicer one. You know, sheet metal wise, you know, maybe don't think of engine as much. When I go look at if I'm looking at a tractor and somebody's got one, I look at the arms on it. I look at the rock shafts and see how wore the rock shafts are, because you can get engine parts for them pretty easy. But finding good rock shafts and cultivating arms and fast hitches and things of that kind of thing, they're getting a little bit, you know, a little more difficult to find. So if the 130 had a good, all that stuff was good, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm looking for how the rest of it's put together. Not, I mean, so yeah, either one would be fine. Which one ain't wore out the most?
Eugene Martin says, hey Joey, don't be picking on us South Boston people
Oh, I'm not picking.
and the way we talk. I'm sorry, got a little
I'll
scratchy.
get you some drink.
Yeah, Eugene, and
Get you
he's the
some
one
of
to
that
talk.
alcohol.
Tell him he says chimley.
Oh, I'm not picking on South Boston. I love to hear their accent. That's why, I mean, that's what drew me to watching him, is just hearing him talk. And he's just so matter of fact with everything. Just so,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Chet is asking, what did Megan think, Joey, when you said you need an IH cake for your birthday?
She said she'd do it. I told her, I said,
Well, of course she didn't have
but-
that confidence,
So-
but I know she can do it.
yeah, you know, I had to throw a ringer at her. And the ringer I threw at her, guys, is I told her, I said, I want an IH cake, but it's got to be a black stripe cake. And she's like, what? And you know, we all know, guys, the 66 series, black stripe series. And I said, yeah, I said, it's got to be a black stripe. And I explained to her what a black stripe was. And she said, well, we'll put that around the bottom of the cake. I said, okay, deal. It'll be a black stripe 66 series IH cake.
Yeah, she'll of course make it happen, and she'll stress about it because it'll have to be perfect because that's how she is. But I'm sure she'll have no problem doing it.
I'll make it easier on her. She can make a sheet cake if she wants.
Yeah, one flat cake. Yeah.
One flat sheet cake.
Mark Benton is on.
Hey, Mark.
Good evening. Enjoy your videos. And
Thank you, Mark.
Steve Klein is on.
Steve, how you, bud?
Says Sammy does great running the camera.
He does.
He gets great close-ups of the equipment running. It's great to see you and Sammy working the garden together.
It is, and hopefully, you know, we're gonna get him on that tractor some too this year. I'm sure he don't want to mess nothing up, but we'll let the corn get a little taller, and we'll let him go out through there and do some stuff.
And also Sam's working on his driving confidence right now,
Yeah.
even driving regular.
Yeah, just a vehicle. He's working on that too.
because he's got his permit, and we let him drive up the road just to the other to Sam Butler's patch, and you know, because I was like, I know, and it's been many years, of course, but I felt like I gained most of my good driving confidence when I was by myself. It makes me nervous when somebody else, even with you, driving with me, I'm like, oh, you know, I feel like I'm going to do something crazy, especially if we're driving your white truck. You know, I'm going to run over the curb or something, and I don't. But, so I feel like Sam's going to get it. And he's not real, like, keen on driving, and I think it's because of the pressure. But I get it. Mark says, going to have a pretty nice late 1975 140 for sale soon.
Mark Moore?
Mark Moore.
Okay.
And Janice said great about the eggs. And Stan's saying the giant tomato, a melon. So he was saying the tomato is the size of a melon.
I don't know. Remember if I showed him that tomato?
Oh, he's probably just saying that if it's as big as my hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you took like a cantaloupe, the circumference is of a cantaloupe.
I'll tell you what.
Even though it's probably about that thick.
I'll post a picture of it. I'll put a Hot Wheels car beside it to give you a reference.
Yeah, and that's a greenhouse tomato.
Yeah.
Cajun Homestead says watermelon with a long shelf life, not bad idea. Paul says I got plenty of sand inside the Jeep today. I'll bring some beach too on my way home.
Oh yeah, we got plenty. Well, I haven't swept the RV out good. I still got plenty of North Carolina sand in it too.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't ever ride it on the beach because Joe's gonna, make us ride with our feet out the window or whatever.
Oh no, I wouldn't put that truck on that beach for nothing in the world.
Yeah.
I'd help it.
It's because it's too heavy, or just because you don't want sand in the.
It's not too heavy. You could air the tires and get the tires right, but my mind thinks about those seals and those axles and that sand getting in behind those seals and just.
Don't close your ears, Paul. Because
Oh, Paul knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul. He knows he's getting in those axles.
Well,
he's just having fun.
I always worry about getting dug down in the sand. Like we had the 2000 Jeep, which is pretty lightweight.
It did good.
And it did good in everything. I love that thing.
That truck would not be the best. I mean, I love
Yeah.
my truck to death, but it probably would not be the best thing to put
Well,
on.
and I was at a store there in Cape Hatteras, and it was one of those local fishing stores at Outer Banks, and the guy in front of me was saying that he had got his truck stuck, and it was a big one like yours, and
Yeah.
he said, yeah, $300. Those tow truck drivers that can get these big trucks out can make a killing in the summer for these people who don't know any better and don't air down and
Well, the ones that get me are the ones that stop right there on the side of Highway 12. But, oh, look, honey, pull over.
Yeah, and they get stuck just on a pull off.
In a two-wheel drive Toyota Prius.
Right, or a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see a Tesla
Now,
stuck.
the Tesla should get out.
I seen one stuck.
Most Teslas are all-wheel drive.
Almost, we were heading towards the lighthouse. Like, what's that town? The lighthouse, Buxton.
Yeah.
It was before Buxton.
There's a Tesla.
Its front side was bore down in it. It was a white Tesla. But I would have thought, okay, Tesla, and I think they just pulled off and didn't realize it was not road
deep,
under
yeah.
the sand. So, it can happen. Eugene says chimley. And Jack Graham says, good evening, folks. You all look comfortable. Freeze warning next 2 nights, up to a foot of snow in the mountains behind us.
Good gracious.
And he said he's praying for those that were killed back there.
Yeah, somebody commented on my video today, said they had to wait till latter part of May before they can plant. And I said, you have got to be north of me.
David Cannon is on and says, hello, everyone.
Hey, David.
And Danny's on, Deep South Homestead.
Hey, Danny.
And Cajun Homestead says, good evening, Danny and Wanda. Oh, yeah, hey, Wanda, I always forget.
Yeah.
I don't know if Wanda is, with him when he watches our live.
She may or may not be.
Yeah, because I always hear her, and, when you're watching their live, I always hear what Wanda says, too.
Wanda knows I still want her salad master.
Leave her salad master alone.
That's the baddest salad master I ever seen. It will cut and bake some salad, boy.
Yeah, and then you won't even eat all that salad. You just want to cut it up.
She put a thing ahead of lettuce in there and twist that thing, and it just comes out the end of it.
Mike says, last 140 I purchased had a John Blue side dresser drive on it. Have you ever run one?
I've never run one. I think I've heard of them. I'm
glad you've heard of them. I was like, is that a typo?
No, he's right. You had different companies, and this is somebody like Matt with Farm All 51 would know these things just boom, 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 boom. But I know Cole made one, John Blue made one, and there were some companies that made some aftermarket fertilized dressers other than IH's. I will say IH side dressers took the cake because they are the absolute simplest ones to put on the tractor. The other ones always seem, I've seen the Coles and stuff, and they always seemed a little complicated to me and a little bulky too, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, Roger said probably nearly impossible to get all the salt off of it too.
Yeah, I am. Whew, I
have
get
to-
this thing home. I get the.
I know. It's like, just let this man go wash his truck.
We're really on the way home. I always tell Lena, I said it'd be just great if we'd run into one of those downpour thunderstorms. I don't want nobody hurt or nothing. I just want to drive through that rain and let that water on the road just kind of
Yeah.
get that salt out from under that truck. And yeah, I see what it does to my RV. I mean, I constantly have to paint the stabilizing jacks. If I leave those stabilizing jacks alone and I don't paint them, they'll be rusted off in 2 years.
Will's on. Hey, Will.
Hey, Will.
And Will's birthday is tomorrow, so everybody say happy birthday to Will.
Will, text Sammy and tell him to come out here.
My sweet firstborn. But anyways, Will says, I remember learning to drive. I used to go too slow. Now I hit 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds.
You don't need to be telling your mom those stories, son.
Well, I mean, if he's just going to 60, that's okay. Don't matter how fast you get there, as long as he's not going 0 to 90.
Well, you don't stop dead at 60.
Well, hopefully he does.
Well, no, he don't.
Like with all the
There's no way.
boys, I don't want to hear about their driving, especially Elliot. I don't want to hear about their driving. Then I see his little videos on Instagram or something of him doing burnouts, whatever. I'm like, oh my goodness. And so, boys, you know, you gotta be a tough mom if you have a bunch of boys. Paul said, I do a good bit of off-roading and come prepared. The Jeep certainly has a date with the pressure washer when I get home. And Stan says, many a Florida Jeep looks like a rusted out Michigan Jeep due to the salt water from the beaches.
And Stan, again, I'll say it again. I mentioned it, you know, when I got back from Dominican. Why in the world was there not rusted out cars in Dominican Republic? I do not understand. Especially with some of those roads and places were right against the water. I mean, I get it if it's 50 miles in, but I'm talking about Santo Domingo is on the coast. I mean, it's like Myrtle Beach. It's right there on it.
Yeah, and also thinking about Stan, so if you've got a Jeep, I'd much rather the salt be from Florida than Michigan, because you know what that means. In Michigan, you're driving around in the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd much rather have the Florida salt than the Michigan salt.
Yeah, that Michigan salt ain't all salt. I believe they got bromide in there or something.
Bama Tractor's on.
Hey, Bama Tractor.
Says hello, finally made it. And It's Me is watching.
It's me, it's me, it's me.
And Noah Martin is watching.
Noah. How are you, Noah?
Yeah, our Celebrity Racer. That's Kaylee's brother.
Oh, is it Katie's brother? Okay.
This is our daughter-in-law's brother, Noah.
So you know what made him? He heard you mention 4.9 seconds. He was scrolling through YouTube and he heard 4.9 seconds and he stopped.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about speed and having boys and Elliot's burnout. So you missed that. And they've got some birthday wishes for David and Greg.
They were texting me telling me I thought you needed me.
No, I just thought you could come out here and hang out for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just sitting on the couch, sitting down because my back hurt me. So I was just sitting there.
Everybody wants to know when you're going to drive a tractor. Are we going to do it when the corn's about this tall?
Yeah.
Okay. Johnny says, I've always wished for the rain on the way home from the beach. Yeah, so you're not the only one.
Johnny, I just thinking,
Well, and it also washes the camper too, the axles of the camper.
And the axles and everything.
In the crevices of the slide out.
If we'd go to the mountains like we should, we wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah. But then I have to be worried about getting kidnapped in those scary towns. Every time we go to the mountains, there's always some creepy event that happens.
Yeah, well,
Some
it's because
mountain people. They
because
scare me.
we go to Cherokee, and Cherokee ain't exactly, friendly looking sometime in some areas.
Yeah. And then you try to pass me off as working for the casino and stuff.
So this is my casino worker right here.
Yeah. So and then the mountains.
But that's just to get free lunch or something.
Well, and we went in June and it was cold in the morning. It was like 55 degrees in June. Remember? I was cold and I was like,
it was pretty cold.
I didn't pack the proper clothes because I was thinking, oh, it's June, but it was cold up there. And even in that campground, those people were weird. Like, nobody would say hello to you or anything, remember? Because we hadn't been to that campground before.
Yeah, I don't remember them not saying hello.
Yeah. Let's see where I was at. Bart says it'll be a beautiful and delicious cake, talking about your 140 cake.
Oh, thank you, Bart.
And it will be, because she made Will's cake and it was
And we got to get up
it
there.
was tasty.
We got to get up there and see Bart. And while we're at it, we'll
Yeah.
see. And while we're at it, we'll see your mama.
Oh, gee, thanks. Yeah. I'm glad she's not on.
Bart,
She'll
you
be-
probably didn't catch that. I said we got to get up there and see you sometime, and I said while we're at it, we'll go see your mama too.
Yeah, if you see any cursing in Spanish on the feed, that's my mom.
Blocker will blocker.
David says, I do all my off-roading on my 140 all day.
Oh yeah, did a little bit of that the other day.
And Bart says, Sam is coming along fine. He'll be fine, but it'll help with the corn being taller.
It will.
Mm-hmm.
I just that way if he, well, we got to get it there first. That's I'm gonna probably have a nut grass, and I hope somebody just don't join it the first time. But we're gonna have a nut grass war. I can see it coming. It's coming just as good as the corn is. It's about that tall, but we can get in there while it's small. We can take care of it. So it's all gonna this next 2 weeks of cultivating and putting down some fertilizer and getting that going and stuff. Is going to tell the tale.
And Eugene Martin says, happy birthday, Will. My birthday was the 27th. So his was 2 days ago. So
Eugene.
happy birthday, happy late birthday, Eugene. And Gurney says, hit the like button, only 6 likes.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I can
That's
count
right,
on
Gurney.
Yeah, Gurney watches our like count.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding them.
Thank you, Gurney.
Noah says, oh, I heard it. LOL. Elliot is right beside me. So they're all watching, probably Elliot and Noah.
Oh, okay.
And maybe Jaden, I don't know. Said, it's me, says...
My Kaylee Bell's watching.
Probably not.
She better be.
She's probably watching the show. It's me, says, no trouble with sand, but red clay likes pressure washer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Stan says, I've gone from running the quarter mile in the 7s to now driving a Cub, getting old. Well, that's the way of life,
Stan, he was messing with cars in the Big Daddy Don Gaudet's days.
Allison said, there's no salt water in West Tennessee.
No, it ain't.
I know. I was thinking Allison does have a long way to go to get to a beach.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's, 9 hours?
I don't know. Well, I guess
From
the
us?
East Coast is still the
Yeah, it's definitely
quickest.
still the quickest.
But it may be quicker for her to go down
south?
to Myrtle Beach, somewhere in Georgia, South Carolina, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Allison. I'm just guessing off the top
She
of my
probably don't
head.
even know. She's like, I don't do beaches, so she don't even know where it's at. 1904 Farm says, Joey, I have a cabin in Bath County, Virginia. If you want to go to the mountains, you're welcome to use it.
Wait, write his number. That's 1904.
Yeah, that's sweet. Thank you, 1904
Yeah,
Farm.
it is. Thank you, sir.
And Kaylee, hey Kaylee.
Caleb Bell said, hey.
Kaylee Martin says, hey, I'm here. Oh yes, Kaylee Jones now.
It's Caleb Bell.
Kaylee Bell. And Pork Chop's on.
Pork Chop. I love it.
I know y'all gonna love our names.
I'm going to change my channel name to Jtwes Pork Chop.
All right, our people do have the best names. Pork Chop 4011. Howdy from Carney Hill Farms.
Hello, hello.
The last succession planting of corn is up and the ground is soaking wet.
Ooh.
So yeah.
That's kind of a good thing, though. I mean, you got some water there. And
Chet says, the mountain people scare you, Lino. It's not all like the movie Deliverance. And I've never seen that movie, so I don't know.
sometimes we'll go for rides in the mountains, and I'll just pick out a road and I'll follow it till I can't follow it no more. And I love riding along, and it's quiet in the truck. Leno's looking outside the window and stuff, and I'll just start up. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I mean, I know what he's referencing, but I don't have anything to match that to because I didn't see the movie. And I'm not going to either because I get the gist of it, that it's something about scary mountain people, and I don't need that confirmation in my life. So, I want to be able to go with Joey when he just, really wants to go. Allison says the closest for us is Orange Beach, Alabama. In Gulf Shores. It's about 6 hours. Oh, 6 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she'd go straight down, and I bet that's pretty close to Danny, somewhere in that area.
So 6 hours isn't that bad then?
No, he's
'cause-
in Mississippi.
Well, because, if Allison comes here, it's about 9 hours, and then our closest is 3. So I was thinking, man, 12 hours to get to the
Yeah.
beach, but, it's just.
But she's going down to the Gulf Coast, and I don't think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but the Gulf Coast doesn't crash in on a normal day where there's no weather pattern out in the Gulf, I don't think it crashes in like the Atlantic. I mean, I think it's got little small waves.
We
but,
went to the Gulf Coast in Fort Myers, isn't that right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that the Gulf Coast doesn't crash in like the Atlantic does.
Because when I went to Fort Myers, I was swimming in the ocean. There was a lot of seaweed that was tangling around my legs.
Yeah, they'll know. Trust me.
Yeah.
I guarantee you we got some subscribers that know.
Oh, I'm sure. Bart says, happy birthday, Will. And Timbo says, paddle faster, I hear banjos.
Willie
So
Woo,
it's
I got
from that movie.
yeah. Willie Woo, I got you a couple things. You'll have to come by tomorrow.
I'm getting attacked over here.
Well, they were already coming over tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so you didn't have to tell them that you got him something.
Well, it's his birthday.
I know, but it's supposed to be a surprise.
I'm getting attacked. Big beetles.
Allison says last time we went, we were there during a tropical storm.
Yeah, it probably crashed.
She said there was plenty of crashing then. Yeah, we haven't really had. Well, we did have some tropical storms that have got bad here before.
It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, it has been a long time to where it was like hurricane force winds here. Because it has come in that far, and it was pretty rough. And like the last hurricane, like when Megan was still living in Wilmington with her mom, they just, I had texted her, I was like, you and your mom are welcome to come stay with us, or, I was worried about them, and she's like, oh no, we'll just ride it out. So they're.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Megan say they had never left?
They never left.
No, like her whole life of living there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had never evacuated. But they're, they're locals, I guess you would say. They've lived there.
They're not that far inland. I mean, they're, around the college.
Oh, yeah. They're like just a few miles from the beach. But, yeah, Megan's a true local because she was born there, but her mom's lived there so many years that, they're just used to it. Cajun Homestead said Gulf is pretty shallow compared to the Atlantic.
Yeah, and I guess that's probably why they do a lot of drilling there, too.
Well, and it's definitely warmer. I mean, it's like our ocean, probably you can really get in it without feeling like your teeth are chattering in August. I think in August it's pretty good. But we go in July,
We got in October, didn't we? 1 year. I thought we did.
No, I don't think so. We went this October and we didn't get in. I mean, just on my feet was cold.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But, we've done boogie boarding in July, but June was way too cold.
Y'all did boogie boarding. This old man didn't do no boogie boarding.
Oh, yeah, I love boogie boarding. It's so fun.
Guys, I don't know if I've ever told this, but I put a life jacket on when I get in the water.
He does.
And I'm not ashamed of it. I do know how to swim. If I was in good shape, I could give, what's that dude's name?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps a run for his money. I can swim fast. With my long legs and arms, I can swim fast. But I can't swim a long, long time.
You lying on here like that.
Well, I can swim fast. I can swim faster than you.
Well, when you're half the length of the pool already, of course you could swim
But
fast.
the
My
purpose
legs
of it
are
is,
short.
it's not that I don't know how to swim. It's like I know how to drive that truck, but I still put a seatbelt on it.
And you splash too much. Half of your energy goes towards
Well,
splashing, not
whatever.
getting
I
through
can't
the
sit
water.
there and tread water all day if I get sucked out by a rip current.
Well, look, I can float. I'm a master floater. If I could float on my back, I could almost take a nap. Like in the pool, I get on my back, and I don't. It's like I could float for days. I mean,
Well, the Lord give y'all life jackets that He didn't give us.
but I mean, it's fun. Okay, let me catch up. Pat says water is a little warmer in the Gulf, and Scott Hanks is on.
Hey, Scott Hanks.
Says hey from Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson. Hey, Scott, we live close to a place called Anderson here. I really.
That's our community.
Yeah, community. Well, Anderson splits our house. High Towers in Anderson.
Elliot says
Boo Bear.
no. It's Elliot Lindsay.
Oh.
Sorry, Elliot Lindsay.
Elliot, I thought it was
You're not Boo
I
Bear.
thought it was my Elliot.
But Elliot's already been on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he said he was on.
Oh, okay. Hey, Boo. Sammy.
Sam.
Boy.
It was still on.
What?
Guys, we just heard what is that called?
That's my electric torch lighter.
We just heard the torch lighter start up.
Because Sammy's looked at it and says, "Huh, I wonder if it's on."
Paul said the water was sure cold here today. I swim like a farmal anyways. And Bart says, LOL, my wife is from the mountains and so is some of my people. Well, I'm glad y'all got out of there, Bart. I'm glad you got her out of there.
He's still kind of in the mountain.
Well, then no, they're in the valleys. My mom and Bart and them are really in the hills.
Well, yeah, but they're not in no super duper flat land.
Yeah, no. Stan says, hurricanes here in Southwest Florida can be really bad if you're on the coastline. Leave, don't ride it out. Yeah, Florida is pretty much the worst as far as hurricanes getting.
All I know is they showed a picture in Tampa. There was a hurricane coming in, and it drawed the bay out. Mm-hmm. And there was thousands of conch shells.
Yeah.
Boy, I'd have been out there picking them things up.
Well, you can't because there's stuff in it living.
Oh.
You don't. I mean, some people take it and just let it die.
They showed all the conch shells out there in that bay.
No, it still has living things in it.
Oh, well.
And so are starfish and sand dollars. They're living. But anyway, so Allison says Nikki and Joe would be sitting on the beach in their jeans and boots.
I do put on my boots sometimes if me and Leno plan on walking a mile or so down the beach, yes, I do wear these.
Well, and I could go without shoes all the time anyway, so I definitely don't need them. Now, of course, the sand gets pretty hot, so I wear flip-flops just so I don't burn my feet, but I don't need any of the shoes.
Yeah, I've learned not to care too much about, wearing the life jacket and stuff. I'm like, and a lot of times what I do is I get out there, and once I get out there, I just kind of lay back and just float on the waves, and there'll be a big wave coming. I'll ride it up, ride it down, ride it up, ride it down. And it just, to me, it makes it a little more enjoyable. I ain't got to fight as much.
Well, yeah, and we do have some, it's not rip currents, but just strong. It's a strong ocean.
Well, you have rip currents in that.
I know, but I'm saying, I'm not talking about myself. I've been in a rip current.
Oh.
But I've been in a strong current that has taken me on the shell bed.
Oh, yeah.
That scraped up my whole side here when I hit into the shell bed doing the boogie boarding. But that's only been a couple times. And, it stung for a little while, especially when you get the water back on it. But it's not that bad. Pat says there are things in the ocean that can eat you, not a water guy.
Yes, there are. I think about that too.
Cajun Home says that I'm 60 miles from the coast in Hurricane Delta, and Laura changed my landscape.
I bet it did.
And this just has initials, LAOL. Says,
LAOL.
howdy, all from eastern Colorado. Been nice and warm here.
Hello, hello.
Chet says that would be worth seeing Joey boogie boarding with work boots on. He's not going to ruin his boots like that. What are you talking about, Chet? Owen is on.
Hey, Owen.
I'm next to Daytona. Love it here.
Daytona. Oh, boy. I bet you can hear the cars when they're racing.
Mm-hmm. And Danny Henley's on, but he's saying good night, so he's been on. So thanks for
Yes, Danny.
chatting, Danny.
Thank you.
Greg says, I have to agree with Joey. I do love the beach, but I've never been bit by a shark in the mountains. No, you just get kidnapped in the mountains.
Just a crawdad when you reach your hand under the rock.
Yeah. And It's Me is signing off. Later, take care.
It's me. He's gone.
Mm-hmm. And David is also saying good night, everyone. So you guys are inspiring me. It's after 9 o'clock.
Oh, is it after 9 o'clock? They inspiring you?
Well, that's what I'm saying, changing the time
Hold on,
to
guys.
8:30 to 9:30.
I got a verse somewhere we got to read. Was there anything else while I'm doing this?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just going to say, we'll do the 8:30 to 9:30, but we'll see, if our guys and girls are, not able to join that late.
This, I looked this up tonight, guys, kind of just for what's going on in today's world. And this is out of Zechariah, and some of you guys will know it's exactly who Zechariah is talking about here. Zechariah 2:8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that toucheth the apple of his eyes. He's talking about Israel there.
Israel. Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Israel is the apple of his eye. Mm-hmm.
Israel's the apple of God's eye, and we just wanted to thought that'd be a fitting verse for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything? before we leave?
No, we have others just saying good night. So
Y'all don't forget Soybean Farmer either. That just popped in my head. Y'all pray for him and keep him in your prayers.
yeah, and Eugene says, would you say hi to my brother from another, Carl Smith?
Carl Smith. Hello,
Yeah.
hello, hello.
And
But I
Greg,
thought Carl was on here a little while
he was
ago.
earlier.
Okay.
And yeah, Carl is still on. Lord bless you all. Good night. And Greg says, thank you for the video and the verse. That message was right on time. Good night and God bless you.
Okay.
So, yes, everybody's signing off, so that's good.
Sammy, you want to come over here? Because that way I won't get my glasses all messed up.
Well, I can.
Are you going to
Yeah.
get it? Lena will get it, Sam.
I
We
can
got to
just
get
check.
that screwdriver anyway. Guys, thank y'all. God bless you. God loves you. We'll see you.